Yo, what's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine. I am gonna do a movie review on a movie I watched on Netflix last night. I've seen this movie in a while. It's Basic Instinct, starring Sharon Stone and Michael Douglas. Now I ain't watched this movie in a long time, and I watched it, and I was like, couldn't get it out of my head, and I was like, you know what? I want to do a review on this. So I decided to go ahead and just do a review and give my thoughts on it. But before I do that, I got an intro. All right, all right, I'm back. So, like I said, I watched it last night. So this is like a retro review, and I just watched it on a humbug. I was flipping through Netflix looking for something, and I like those. I love the old thrillers from the '90s, and um, I seen this, a lot of times, but I ain't really watched it recently as an adult. Because I remember when it first came out, I was real young, and I was too young to be watching this movie for real. And I heard about all the nudity and sex scenes, so I had to see it when back then. So now I'm watching it now as an adult, and I'm like following the story, and the movie is actually well done. It's actually better than I remember it being, because like I said, when I was younger, I just wanted to see the the sex and the nudity and all that, and now I understand more, why all that stuff was happening, and I can follow the plot as far as where they wanted you, where they was leading you, as far as because it's a mystery, and it was like they giving you clues to things, and you just had to kind of figure it out. So it was a real good movie, man. The performances, and of course Sharon Stone performance was you know what? I don't think I've seen a better femme fatale performance than this one right here. That's what she is, like a femme fatale. She's a very strong woman in a man's world, I guess, and in this movie. And so the movie is about a lady, it's Arthur, and she wrote a book about a person getting killed. She wrote a book about a rock star getting killed by his girlfriend, and the exact way that she described in her book happened in real life. So this started this big murder mystery, and this investigation by the police, and of course she's a prime suspect because it's her book, and it happened just like that. Which they say, well, her alibi is she wrote her book about it. Why would she do it? And then what made the police kind of suspicious that she could have done it and try to use the book for the alibi is her checkered past. She had a checkered past, and things like this had happened to her in the past or something. So they was like, okay, we got to check her out. So Michael Douglas was the cop, the main cop, that's in charge of the investigation, and he's kind of, you can tell he's got demons. And this was like, I remember watching this, and I remember not being able to wonder why he can't seem to control it. He has demons. He has a drinking problem. He has a temper problem. It's like he's trying to keep himself under control, but you can tell he's very unhinged, and he's one to, cut loose or whatever. And she noticed that also, and she keep pushing him. And she's kind of start off with the mind games, because she start off by, can I get a cigarette? No, I don't smoke. Okay, yes you do. All that stuff. So it's a good little cat and mouse mind games and all that stuff going on. So all that stuff was real good, man. And then I remember this movie was so ahead of its time because all the progressive sexiness and all that stuff, where she was like, she go both ways. You didn't see that much in movies. Now it's more common, but back then this was like a big deal that she had like a girlfriend and a boyfriend, and that she just flat out said, like, she like she like to have sex. She don't care about relationships. Like they ask, like, yeah, were you with the guy? She was like, no, we just having sex. You know, she just like kind of like flat out said it. You know, back then that was kind of like a big deal. She would have been, people had casual sex and whatnot, but the way she just kind of like flat out said it and didn't care what nobody thought, that was real progressive for that time. I can see why people just kind of like fell in love with that character of Catherine. I forget it, Catherine Tramiel, I think it was her name. So let's like start this big mystery. It's kind of a mystery thriller procedural kind of thing where Michael Douglas is trying to, he's trying to figure out and but she's playing a lot of games and he played right along with him because he thinks he can outsmart her, and I don't know why because he's not that smart. Like his character Nick, I think it's Nick Canaan or something, and he's not that smart. And he's obviously attracted to her, but he's fighting against his better judgment or whatever. He's fighting against his instincts, no pun intended, to not mess with her because his partner, everybody say, look, don't mess with her. Do your job. Which if you're investigating somebody, you can't have a relationship with them. So anywho, it's real good, man, and all the performances good. And you had another character, Janine Triplehorn. She was Beth. That was his love interest / psychologist, which I don't see that can't happen because they was kind of in an open relationship. Everybody in the station knew they was in a relationship, but she was still his psychologist, that his therapist or whatever. Like they had to when a cop got to pass their psych eval or if they shoot somebody or whatever, she did all that, which you can't have a relationship with somebody that's in charge of clearing you for active duty because you just compromise. You can't do that. So it's just like stuff like that. Stuff like that. I was like, no, that can't happen. Now I know it's like they wasn't in a. I guess they didn't admit they was in a relationship, but everybody knew they was in a relationship. And then they had some scenes where they just kind of like kiss each other by at the station. I'm like, no, you can't be in a relationship and still be his psychologist. You can't do that. So it's like stuff like that. But it was a real good movie because as I'm watching the movie and I'm following it, things kept happening. And I kind of was wondering who was the actual killer because you figure it's Catherine, but then all the evidence started pointing towards Beth. And then I'm like, no way, it can't just be her. So there was a lot of stuff going on, man. And then I kind of wondered to myself at the end of this movie, was it actually her? Because if you remember the end of the movie, we think, oh man, this dude about to get killed, but it didn't happen like that. And then you wonder, and they showed you something in the movie that okay, this is the killer all along, and then you were like, okay, but when I look at all the evidence and I look at all the stuff that happened, it wasn't just her. It had to be the other. I think everybody was in on it. I think the only person who didn't know what was going on was Michael Douglas' character, Nick. I think Nick was getting played from Beth, Catherine, and then she had another little girlfriend. She was in on it. So there's a lot of people that end up getting killed or whatnot. I don't think that was part of her plan. I think they was trying to play this dude because she just needed material for her book. Now she said she write books. She wanted to use him to write her new book. And he kept going along with it because he thought he was playing her. And it seems like she was making things happen so she can just make more material for a book. So it was like things that was going on was things that she was she set off a situation, and however it play out, that's what she'll put in her book. So it was a good movie, man. Which like I said, like I said, when I seen it back in the day, I wasn't ready for. Excuse me, I wasn't ready. I wasn't following the story well enough to know how good it was, but it was real good. And I'm tell you what, the sex scenes they still hold up. Those sex scenes was good, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, Michael Douglas and the scene where they was in the club and they went back to her apartment. They had sex for real. I'm sorry, that was a real scene. So the sex scenes were still hold up as good scenes. Michael Douglas do his thing. This is what he do. But so it was like I said, it was actually a good mystery. I I know that sometimes you want to leave that question out there of you want to kind of like make up your own mind. Did the person actually do it? Let me just you ain't got to give me all the answers. Let me figure something out. But in this case, I wouldn't mind them do that Saw moment where at the end they show exactly who was the killer, because I kind of still not sure, but I'm pretty sure that all of them was working together against him. Like, I got to see exactly. I might have to watch part 2 to find out if they touched on this, but I'm pretty sure they all was working together against just the one guy, and because everything wrapped up at the end kind of neatly. All this evidence is right here, which you could tell something was set up there, but they didn't really give us that. They didn't give us that whole extra scene just showing us exactly what exactly happened, which is it's cool. But in this case, I wish I would have had it because it's kind of out there. It could go either way, So I was just, it just had me thinking about this ending. It was a good movie, and I just want to know. I know she did it. I know Catherine Tramiel did it, but I don't know if Beth actually did it with her. They put it out there because they found the evidence at Beth's place, but you don't know if that was all planted. But she couldn't have been innocent. I think they did it all together. I think it was her, the other girlfriend, and the old lady. They had another older lady there, which I don't even know why she was there, but she had another lady that just was there that was helping her write her book, and I think they all was just planning stuff behind the scenes, and I don't know. It was a good movie though, man. And it still holds up today. So I forgot how good it was. So I will say, no, I don't want to see no remake. This is good enough. All right. So that is my review for Basic Instinct. It was actually a good movie. It was a good movie, and I will be doing more retro reviews coming up soon. So thanks for checking out. Thanks for checking out the video and subscribe to the channel. We will be doing some live streaming this week. Probably gonna do some Halloween stuff, so be on the lookout. All right, I am out of here. Peace.